Well, this interview is going to be a little bit different. We have a lady here that's not a veteran, but she was Rosie the Riveter. She worked for us during the war, and if it hadn't been for her making those shell casings or whatever it was, we'd had a tough time of winning that war. What is your name, please?
Mary Glasson.
And you were born where?
In St. Louis Crossing, Bartholomew County.
Been here all your life?
Yes, I've been out a few times, but most of the time.
You lived here most of the time,
most
yes.
of the time.
Okay. Where were you when Pearl Harbor was bombed? Do you remember?
Yes, I do. I was in Indianapolis. I had had an appendectomy 10 days before that, and I was going to get to come home that day, back to Columbus. And my mother and my brother came after me, and while they were there, they announced Pearl Harbor. They heard it over the radio. It was like maybe 11 o'clock in the morning, as I remember.
Yes, I think about right. Were you employed at that time?
No, I was going to school.
Okay. When did you start working for the military? Put it that way.
Let's see, I guess that must have been about March of 42.
42.
Maybe.
And you
42.
went to work where?
I went to work as a government inspector. I took some training in Indianapolis, and I was a government inspector. My first job was at Arvin's, and then I had numerous other jobs. They didn't leave you one place too long. I worked at the Naval Ordnance in Indianapolis. I worked in at Link Belt in Indianapolis. I worked in, I can't remember the place in Kokomo, but they made shell casings.
Right.
I may have worked in another place or two, but
You said they didn't leave you in one place too long. Was there a reason for that?
I think so. So you didn't get too familiar with anything, because you were inspectors, and they didn't want you to be too familiar with the people there.
At Arvin's, what did you inspect there?
Bomb casings.
Bomb casings.
Yes, big bomb casings. They sent them down a conveyor belt, and we sat at the end, and they were in big boxes, like 3 feet long or something like that, big square wooden boxes. You had to put a lead seal on those. A little wire went through a latch, and then you had to put your government seal on that seal. That sealed them up to prove they left there. Right. And then they went down the conveyor belt into a box car, and they went to Rock Island, Maryland, I believe, somewhere in Maryland.
To be shipped overseas.
To be.
Yes. Good. You're the first person I've talked to that ever did work like that. It's really wonderful to be talking with you this. What was your feeling at that time when you were making bomb casings?
Well,
did you have any thoughts about that?
I felt very patriotic and thought I was doing the right thing. Never doubted.
Right.
Really never doubted that until the last few years, when I began to see these documentaries and would see the bombs coming down. It was then that I realized I was a part of that.
Right.
That didn't make me feel very good. I don't think I could do that now, but back then it was different.
You don't think you could make bomb casings like that, knowing that they were going to destroy life? Is that the reason? Not today. That's your reason? Okay. What about the soldiers now that was over there that had to drop these bombs?
For the time, I felt very good about it, and I'm not sorry. I don't think I could do that today. I would say, let's negotiate. I would do more negotiating today than I would have.
I understand that now, yes.
Yeah.
I understand that. Okay.
Because most of the people, when you see the documentaries, you see that most of those people are just people like us.
Absolutely.
Most of the people that were killed were not bad people.
No.
And I would think about that a lot more today.
They had to do that.
They had to do that.
When I was in prison over there, a German guard came up and told us that when we were liberated, he wanted to go with us, be our prisoner, because he was forced to be a guard. He said they told him if he didn't guard us, they would kill him. He had no choice. So I see how you feel on that, yes. But still, in my mind, what would we have done if we didn't have people like you? Well, I think everybody felt like I did. It was everybody pulled together and everybody we worked very hard, long hours, That's true.
And everything. And I have no doubts about what I did back then, but today I look at things a little different. I think everybody that was in the war would probably look at it differently today. You know, that war was fought with teenagers almost.
Absolutely.
Teenagers and very young
Yes.
young people. As you mature, hopefully you do change a little bit.
Do you feel that that war has changed the country in any way? Now, your feeling is that, like you just expressed there, do you think that most of the people feel that due to the war, maybe?
Well,
hard to say.
It's real hard to say. I think we are lucky that World War II happened, and we did win the war, but where would we be now?
Yes.
I'm not sorry at all.
Sure.
In fact, I'm proud to have been part of it. But today, I would think longer and try to negotiate with people rather than to kill a lot of innocent people.
Once you see that happen, it's bad. It's terrible. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I certainly appreciate you talking with us.
Okay.
And thank you very much.
Thank you, Hurley.
Okay.